long weekend, I suppose.
It
Were,
was.
yeah, you were in Texas. I was in Indiana.
It was.
See
Yeah,
some.
we were both judging and seeing lots of marching groups and seeing what
Yep,
people are
it's
doing.
it's Bandtober, as they say on Facebook. So
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about these morning coffee talk sessions that we're going to be sending out each week on Facebook, and today we were going to kind of focus on just one thing. And as we go into October, we're going into that second week of October now, or first full week of October. What's kind of your one thing that you want to share with directors to help them get better?
Well, after judging for 4 straight weekends, Randy, there's a number of things that I'd like to talk about, but what I want to just quickly mention today is this whole idea of balance when it comes to the marching ensemble. And I don't want anyone to misunderstand because I know this is a tough thing to do, especially today when we're trying to make sure that the audience, and especially if you're a competitive band, the judges hear what you want us to hear. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time to make sure that everything's coming across the way you want it to come across. And nowadays, especially with electronics and everything that's going on in the front ensemble. So the thing that I've mentioned to numerous bands, and we've all heard the expression, make the main thing the main thing, or keep the main thing as the main thing. And a lot of times we'll have, and we're kind of all, and I'm sure I did this too when I was teaching, but we're kind of all notorious for covering up woodwind moments. And when woodwinds are performing, I just think, and immediately people will say, oh, Salcedo's going to say no percussion. And that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you have to get enough stuff out of the way so that we can hear what you want us to hear. If it's time for keyboard feature in the front with the mallets, okay, then let's go easy on the battery, or make sure or if it's supposed to be both of them working together, let's make sure it's clear that way. If we have a soloist, okay, be careful, of course, not to cover up the soloist, and they might be mic'd, but what I find that happens during woodwind features, during other features, during soloists, is that when people get ready to come back in, they start to sneak in, which is cool, they layer in, but then right before the big moment, they cover up the soloist or the woodwinds. So just be careful about the balance thing, because that's something that's very easy to judge. So just kind of stand back, and if your tower is on very top of your band when you're rehearsing, I'm hoping that you can get into a stadium or into an area where you're back a ways and up a ways so you can check those kind of things.
That's great. My just one thing is the show generating the effect that you intended it to generate? And so just, kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, this was a moment that we thought was going to generate an audience reaction. It's not generating. So why is that the case? Is it an achievement issue with the performers? Did we overwrite this section? Is it a balance thing? Just going back and looking at those processes and then addressing the one that's going to address why the effect is not working. If it's an achievement thing, maybe you need to go back to your fundamentals and, revisit those and see, if the students can't do that basic skill set, then you got to spend more time on fundamentals. If it's a clarity thing, like Richard's talking about with balance, then make sure you're making the main thing the main thing. But really take a step back and just evaluate, is the show generating the effect that we intended? And then take advantage of the eyes and the ears. That's the judging panel that you have on a given weekend. Don't get caught up in the number stuff. Get caught up in what they're hearing and seeing, and use their eyes as an objective opinion to make those improvements.
I think that's great too, and it's I talked to a lot of groups when I was on Effect this weekend about not only it being the moment of the effect, but the development into the effect. So yeah, it's
Yeah, absolutely. And just playing that moment and then backing up a couple of phrases to make sure that they're able to
Yep.
generate on a consistent basis. And that's, the quality reps at this time of year are precious. So take advantage of that. We look forward to talking to you again next time on Coffee Talk. And thanks so much for being here this morning. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, everyone.